Monday morning and race 2 of the weekend at Snetterton for the Avon Tyres National Formula 4 Championship, but there's drama even before the race begins. Expected pole sitter Rory Smith does not take the formation lap, and as the grid is set as a direct reflection of race 1's results, it means that Spike Colbecker, who starts second on the grid, effectively inherits pole. So the race to grid is like this: no Smith, but Colbecker on his own on the front row, from Martin and Sharp on row 2, then McLennan and McPherson on row 3, from Maserati and Quinn rounding out the 4th row of the grid. Top 10 completed by Brown and Lee, followed by Svensson and Quartermain on row 6, followed by Monbaron and Jeanson on row 7, then Nicole Woods and Klaus-Dieter Harkel on row 8. The rest of the grid formed up by Sam Street, Scott Huntley, James Clark and Henry Chant. Watch for James Clark at the back of the grid for 19th. He will not stay there given his pace in that Cliff Dempsey Ray. So, Spike Colbecker on his own on the front row. Can he turn that from front row start to race victory? Let's find out. Lights out, and we are racing for race 2. And a good start from the first two men. Colbecker slots into the lead, Martin into second place. McLennan already under attack from Jamie Sharp to his left, but immediately Sharp has to go defensive on the inside line as here comes McPherson up the inside in the second of the Kevin Mills Spectrums. They turn their way through Richie's corner for the first time. Maserati's up to 6th as we go back on board with Neil McLennan. Down towards the Wilson hairpin for the first time, and it's the American Colbecker that leads. Martin and McLennan in second and third. Sharp's up to 4th. And now we look on board Max Maserati. He gets sideways on the exit over the curbs. There goes McPherson back through. Out of the Wilson hairpin up towards the left-hander of Palmer. Slightly off camera as she turned through the apex. But now the leaders head down towards Agostini for the first time. There's Jamie Sharp in the red and black Van Diemen heading into the hairpin with McPherson 5th, Maserati 6th. There's Jonathan Brown in 7th place and Morgan Quinn in 8th. Back on board with Maserati. Good strong start for him. Head out of Agostini towards Hamilton's for the first time. All of them tightly bunched together as they turn through. Big sideways moment for Max Maserati, but he just holds on. Nice piece of car control to keep the car on the straight and narrow. Runs wide on the exit through Oggies, but he keeps it again on the road. Here's a battle developing here. We've got Morgan Quinn having a scrap already with John Svensson in the early stages. Also Brendan Lee's in there as well. This is Nicole Woods in her second race National Formula Fords, and she's off into the barriers. That is not how it was supposed to go to plan. Nicole Woods off into the barriers, and I think that will be her race over. I think she's going to power off the engine on the Van Diemen and climb out. Yeah, she appears to be okay. It was a fairly hefty hit, but these cars are pretty safe these days, so she'll try and unhook herself. And the lady race that's gone from horse racing to motorsport, experiencing a different kind of horsepower, no pun intended. She's going to have to try and bounce back for race 3 if BM Racing can get that car repaired. Leaders out of Murray's for the first time. Here comes McPherson battling with Jamie Sharp. Also in there too now is Jonathan Brown past Max Maserati. Morgan Quinn's in there too, but they'll all have to slow up because the safety car has been deployed. So Spike Colbecker and co, all with arms in the air, they will have to back off and start weaving from side to side, lining up behind the safety car to allow the marshals to recover the stricken Van Diemen of Nicole Woods. So everyone weaving left and right to keep tyre temperatures and pressures and brake temperatures up as high as possible. There is Aaron Jinksam in the number 46, one of the Oldfield Motorsport squad. James Oldfield also running Scott Huntley in this championship as well this season. So the leaders form up behind the safety car, as this is the camera shot from Nicole Woods' car, now on the back of the breakdown truck on its way back to pit lane. Andy Brickles will have quite an effort to get that car out for race 3. But the race is about to get underway, and what a restart that looks to be for Spike Colbecker. He really has done this before, hasn't he? Great getaway to get pull away from both Martin and also from Neil McLennan. We've got, looks to be Michael McPherson in 4th place. We ride on board again with Max Maserati in the slipstream of Jonathan Brown, staring at the gearbox. They head down towards Richie's again on the restart. And again, Colbecker under attack from Martin. Into the right-hander goes Neil McLennan. 4th is McPherson, 5th is Jamie Sharp. Whoa, and who was that? Somebody goes flying through the camera shot. I didn't catch who it was, but a big high-speed moment at Richie's corner. I hope whoever that was is okay. That looked very nasty indeed. We're on board Max Maserati. He's chasing off Jonathan Brown still. And it's Brendan Lee, the double esports champion, out of the race with a hefty whack into the tyre wall up at Richie's corner. That looked really painful. We'll wait and see. Hopefully he's okay after that one, but that car's going to need some work too. The scrap down towards Agostini's. This is now 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Got McPherson, Sharp, Brown and Max Maserati. There's Morgan Quinn in 8th in the grey and blue car. 9th place for John Svensson. There's yellow flags coming out around the circuit. Is that going to possibly mean an imminent safety car? There's more yellow flags at Oggie's corner. I suspect we're possibly about to go full course yellow again. Leaders head through Williams for the first time on the restart, but they're all backing off, arms in the air. And yeah, just as I expected, the safety car has been deployed for the second time. And as the Coles Woods car is only just being recovered, they're going to have to go and grab Brendan Lee's car. And also, that's Aaron Jeanson out of the race. He climbs out of the Oldfield Motorsport chassis, but he's hit problems too. So 2 cars to recover around the circuit after problems on that restart. He looks to be apparently perfectly fine after that. More than a safety car, it's going to have to be a red flag because this is going to take longer to clear up than just a simple safety car period. So, Brendan Lee and Aaron Jeanson's car get recovered back to the pits. We prepare for race number 2, start number 2. So, here we go then, line back up onto the grid. There's a big gap where a few cars are missing, particularly Brendan Lee and also Aaron Jeanson. This is the view from James Clark back in 19th. He's got some work to do. As Pascal Brown lights up the tyres on the left-hand side from his grid position. We're back underway here at Snetterton. Good start from Clark, pulls alongside Von Barron as we go back on board with McLaren down into Ritchie's corner on this restarted race. Colbecker has the lead, Marston in second place, McLaren slotted nicely into third, but immediately again goes to the inside to fend off any attacks from the cars behind. They turn into the hairpin, McPherson fourth. This is back on board with Rory Smith. Now he's restarted. That red flag was a saving grace for him. He's now going to try and pick his way back through the order after what should have been pole position as he dives past Klaus Dieter Harkel into Palmer Corner. So watch for Rory Smith from the back of the field. James Clark will also be charging too. As they head down towards Agostini now on this restarted race. There is James Clark in the middle of shot. He's going up the inside of Morgan Quinn. So the Cliff Dempsey Ray makes a move on the Dolan Van Diemen chassis. Now here is James on board with him. Next target in front is the red, white and blue Van Diemen, and that is of Morgan Quinn's Team Dolan teammate, Max Maserati. They go into Oggie's. I think James quite likes this sort of more oversteery style of car because you see him fighting away with the wheel, but the main thing is to try and keep the car as planted as possible through the corner as Maserati again gets a big tank slapper on the exit of Williams' corner, and now he's under threat as we see Clark pull himself alongside on the Bentley straight down towards the complex of Brundle and Nelson. Top 3 trying to escape. It's still Colbecker from Martin, then from McLennan. As round the outside into Brundle to get the inside line for Nelson goes Clark, but he goes too deep, slides wide, and now Maserati's back up alongside him, side by side towards the right-hander at the bomb hole, and Maserati is back through. So what could have been a great pass, Clark has possibly tripped over himself and looks up the inside at Coram Corner, and that is not a place you want to pass unless you're absolutely confident you can pull off that move. Top 3 breaking away already, as we mentioned. There's McPherson fourth. We're back on board with Rory Smith. He's now looking at Morgan Quinn. Just ahead of him is also his fellow recovery for the back end. Oh, and that's contact! Rory Smith hits the back of Morgan Quinn. Quinn goes spinning off into the tyres at the pit entry. What on earth? I think it looked to me as if Morgan Quinn missed a shift. It completely caught Rory Smith off guard. That's the front right suspension torn off. And that, I'm afraid, has seen Rory Smith's race 2 go from bad to worse. Well, what about that for a turn-up? This means now these guys can continue to race on pretty much unchallenged at the front of the field because James Clark will try to make his way through. There is Morgan Quinn. He's out of the race as well, but thankfully out of the car as the marshals quickly run to go and recover the Van Diemen from its position. So, back at the front, everything's broken up a little bit here. Top 3 are sort of separated away at the front. Then we have our next 3 scrapping over 4th place. McPherson in the 16, the 89 of Jamie Sharp in there. Just behind them is Jonathan Brown in the number 1, 2, 2. Then just behind him is James Clark. He's got past Max Maserati. Then there's John Svensson. I think that's Henry Sharp behind him as well. Here's McLennan. This is the perfect view for him. Watches the top 2 in front. He is just lurking behind in 3rd place, waiting for an opportunity. We know how good these cars are in the slipstream. So at any moment he gets a sniff of a chance to make a pass, he'll be on them like a shot and will pounce when the opportunity is right. Here's his grandstand view as we see Ross Martin looking to the inside line to make the move on Colbecker. He's got his nose in front, so it looks as though he's got the move done. McLaren tries to go with him on the outside. He may get the cut back on the exit, but Martin is through. Ross Martin, the former Scottish champion, into the lead in the ex-Noel Murray Van Diemen. 2nd place for Colbecker, 3rd for Neil McLennan. What has Colbecker got left now? Can he possibly try and make his way back through? Can McLennan do anything? Can he get past both of them to take the lead for himself? As wait and see as they sliver their way into Murray's corner, out through Coram, and back onto the pit straight. And hugging the pit wall on the approach down towards Ritchie's. Again, the driver's view from McLennan. Staring at the gearbox of Colbecker. In turn, we're looking right at the back of Martin's car as McLennan darts out, tries to put himself into Spike's mirrors, tries to distract him into a mistake. But Spike is more experienced than that, and he stays in second place, unnerved by the potential attacks behind him. So Neil says, right, I'll try the outside line if you're going to do that. And Spike Colbecker looks up the inside as Martin goes deep into Wilson hairpin and makes his move stick. That was a very crucial move there for Spike Colbecker. Makes his way back through into the lead here at Snetterton in race number 2. So, what does McLennan have left? Can Martin get back through? I think that was a signal also to Martin behind to McLennan, say, look, push me, let's go after Spike and try and get past both of him. There's McPherson in 4th. There's a good battle here between the two Cliff Dempsey cars of Brown and Clark. Brown tried to go down the outside of Jamie Sharp, didn't work, and now he's got his teammate alongside him to his left-hand side as they head down towards Hamilton's. We're back on board with McLennan, who again is staring this time at the gearbox of Ross Martin, who in turn is now chasing back after Spike Colbecker to get back at him down towards the right-hander. Is there an opportunity here for him to get through? Colbecker with a great run off the Williams corner onto the Bentley straight, and look at McLennan now in 3rd place. He's got a fantastic toe on the rear of Ross Martin here, looking for 2nd place. Which way is he going to go? Inside, up towards Brundle. It'll be on the outside for Nelson, but McLennan saw Martin was going to sweep back across, and he holds on for the time being. Out of Brundle and Nelson, up towards the bomb hole. Are we now looking here at a potential first win here for Spike Colbecker? This is the last lap of the race. He's got 2 more corners to go now. McLennan giving it everything, Martin giving it everything, but Spike Colbecker, in only his 2nd race in the UK, he may have done one in Canada and in New Zealand. Now he's going to hit the big time here in Formula Ford. It'll be the sprint towards the line now between Colbecker, Martin and McLennan. We're on board with McLennan as we head towards the checkered flag. Martin gets close, but it's going to be too late. The checkered flag flies, and Spike Colbecker, in his 2nd race in the UK, picks up a race win in what was a very disruptive race. But Colbecker wins, Martin 2nd, McLennan 3rd, James Clark is 4th, and Michael McPherson 5th. Then Brown, Sharp, Maserati, Svensson and Monbaron rounding out the top 10. Great result for Svensson and Monbaron. Quartermain, Huntley, Street and Harkle, the remaining cars that finished. Look at the casualties. What a race of attrition, but a very happy top 3 on the podium with Andy.
Well, Spike, congratulations. Race victory here in the 2nd race at Snetterton. There's no such thing as an easy race in this championship, is there? And that one certainly wasn't easy.
Yeah, it definitely was not easy. It just came down to all the safety cars and stuff like that. It brought the pack back together, and that made it interesting and fairly difficult for the top 3 of us. But I felt like we all kept it clean, so I really appreciate that from the other drivers.
And at this early stage of the season, any points you can get are useful, aren't they? How much are you considering sort of a championship bid here, and then also going for outright race victories?
I'm more leaning towards the end of the season. I'm looking for the long run. Yesterday we were close to the win, but it wouldn't have been done smoothly, so it's just backing off because there's always that risk. And I'm just trying to play the safe game right now because it's only the first weekend, and I think there's 6 or 7 race weekends. So just nice and smooth build up to it, and if a pass isn't there, just don't go for it because it's not worth it. And bad things can happen once you start doing that.
Ross Martin, congratulations, 2nd place in the 2nd race here at Snetterton. Hard work out there. It's always close around here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the long straights don't help. Spike done a great job in the lead. Me and Neil worked well together, but we were just on him and no more. I took the lead getting into the last lap, but then let it slip at the hairpin. Totally my fault. Outbraked myself, and he managed to slip by me. So trying to get that back was hard. But I went into that race hoping for a win. Yeah, and then kind of took it away by myself. But I've went one step up from yesterday. So hopefully in the last race we can do the same again.
Well, Neil, congratulations, 3rd place finish here. Starting 5th is not always a terrible thing in this championship. You can overtake, can't you? And you certainly did.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, good clean race. Yesterday was a bit of a struggle for us, a bit messy of a race. But today's a new day and started fresh, so no, we're happy enough. More points to take home as well. Just need to wait and see now for the reverse grid, see how that goes, and then go from there.